I just wanted to like throw it to the side. Pfft, get the destination out of here. Don't even think about it. Let's be here for a moment. It's me here. Oh, everything's kind of on a little delay. That's okay. Whatever's clever. Okay. Figuring it out. Got it. Okay. Okay, so let's just be here for a moment. Let's land, as they say. I hear a lot of people, let's land here. What does that mean? It means to just kind of be where you are. And that theme has been coming up a lot for me already this Cancer season, is to really be where you are. Because I've always kind of built my tarot business in a way, my theme is always, you don't know where you're going until you know where you are, or you only know where you're going when you can see where you are. Because we really, how can you know where you're heading if you have no idea where you're starting or where you are now? Yes, I chose a filter for Instagram this time, getting crazy. I just felt like I had the lighting, I looked kind of weird on Instagram today, so I thought I'd try it out, and there's cool sparkle space, so had to do that. So hopefully it's not making who knows, it could be making the transmission weird. Anyway, so there's little ways that you can kind of check in to see if you're present. Yeah, no sparkle on Facebook. That's true, no sparkle on Facebook. Some things that I like to do to be present is to like put my feet on the ground. Deep breaths is like the number one go-to. Some other things is kind of like what I can feel. And really a lot of what I do is also like what I can see, and I'll kind of see what I can see that's closest to me presently. Like, I think like the desk is closest to me right now, where I can see, my chest. And then I'll like see what's the furthest thing that I can see. And kind of take stock of what's in between. And then I'll do to like, what's the loudest thing I can hear? One of these fans, and what's the quietest thing I can hear? Because I found my little fans, so it's not so hot in here. I had to dig them out of the storage shed in the backyard. And the quietest thing I can hear, probably one of the other fans out there. So just a few little things that I do to just kind of try to be present, especially when, hi Rachel, say hi when you come on, everybody. Hello. Welcome. Because the theme of being really present, it just becomes more and more prevalent lately. So that's a great way to just like kind of come back to center, be where you are, and this is a good tool to be present. And then the next thing I do is find things to be grateful for in the present moment also. And also it's a reminder that I can only, hi Patricia, Trixie, I can only take care of what is right in front of me right now. And that's been coming up a lot for me in the last couple months, especially when I'm in the middle of tasks and my brain starts to think of other things. I mean, I have lists all over my house, so I'm constantly writing things down so I don't have to hold on to them in my brain all the time. But the theme, there's these themes that don't seem to totally intertwine, and I'm seeing how they intertwine. And so being present is a huge theme. uh, being grateful for things that are in your present moment, in your current reality, is one of them. And then those are kind of like the base foundation jumping off points for these deeper things that are coming up. And this is for Cancer season, and especially highlighted by the Cancer new moon. We had that Capricorn full moon on the 24th. If you saw my post about that. Also, if you like my posts and you like reading my stuff, please sign up for my mailing list. There's links attached to things in places, because you get more. I expand a lot and go deeper into what's happening, and also just how I reflect a lot back how I'm experiencing these things, because my purpose is to be this bridge and this mirror, and I'm constantly cultivating a life that is based around these natural cycles. And so the more that I'm tapped in, the more I'm experiencing, I want to share with you. And so my newsletter, Meryl's Mystic Musings, is a great way to dig deeper on that stuff with me if you'd like. So we had the Capricorn new moon, and it really brought in this energy of boundaries, and a lot of it was about boundaries with ourselves, most importantly, because I'm starting to notice and believe that, that we really can't have the best boundaries with others until we have better boundaries or stronger boundaries with ourselves. And that means so many things. And that's the cool thing about boundaries is that they're yours, they're customizable, they're whatever fits your life and whatever feels good and safe for you. And that's really what these boundaries are. It's about creating your own structure that feels, safe enough for you to then be expansive within it. So these are boundaries about when we have boundaries with ourselves. It could be little things like bedtimes and what we eat or what we participate in, what we give our energy to, what social media we're on, what games we play, where we spend our money, all sorts of things. And so personally at home, we really had to start looking at like our budget again, and we had to we really had to start just kind of looking at what things actually need to be improved upon, and then also not getting ahead of ourselves. And I say us, me and my partner, where we've started some projects, we're not quite done with them, and then we start kind of like looking to the next thing. Part of that's because we're both manifesting generators in human design, so I really had to like come back, and I had to find and define like a new structure for us that felt good, and that took a couple days, but it feels more secure, and to have this kind of internal security that you're creating, this internal foundation that you learn how to create for yourself. There's like, you're creating fertile soil for you to be able to expand off of that in kind of ways that you would never imagine. And so it really feels like right now the universe and spirit is really pushing us to really establish those boundaries with ourselves, establish them stronger, and in a loving way too. And some of these are like self-care boundaries. Like, what's some self-care things that you said that you were going to do, at the beginning of the year? That was your if you had like I'm going to get more massages and I'm going to get more pedicures, things like that. Rewards for you reaching your goals, like set goals, and then like say I'm going to buy myself this really cute purse or this outfit. Little things like that, those are really great boundaries to set with yourself also, because those are, for you and only you. And then we get into this, then down the road we can set better boundaries with other people, because then we know where we are, we know what we're doing, we know what we have, what we're grateful for, and we know, what's worth protecting too. And that's a lot of where this, like, being present, being grateful, having these boundaries, it's all about kind of realizing that what you have has value, and that you were gifted in this life to honor that, and to honor it and to allow it to flourish, to bloom. So we're still in this, we're trying to get our soil basically to be as fertile as possible, because if you've seen, if you've done any planting, if you've seen any documentaries about planting, you should know that it all starts from the soil. And so this is really, we're like tending to our proverbial soil, and we're filling it with nutrients, and we're protecting it from pests so that we have a solid, healthy place to plant our seeds, and for them to grow even better than if we were just kind of doing it on just like some dirt. Or some clay mud like we got in Colorado, and that's why we're all switching to raised gardens, because you can't really grow food very well in the clay. So yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I've been taking it all in myself and figuring out how these things like show up for me. And Cancer can also be the crab, kind of crabby. So I've definitely been exploring my emotions, and kind of even where like my anger comes from, where it's directed. And these are just like other things that have come up from me being present and figuring out where I want to be currently, how I want to live my life currently in order to build a future that I can be proud of. So, and that leads us to this new Cancer new moon that is really asking us to look deep into our hearts, into our psyches, and figure out what our biggest dreams are, our scariest dreams, our deepest desires, the things that, your inner children, your inner child would want for you. What did your 7, 8, 9 through 13-year-old self want? And have you gotten some of those things and already? And should we take a moment to look at that, to make sure that if we've achieved some of these things that our younger self wanted for us, because that's cool. Because I realized recently that I'm pretty sure my like 12, 13-year-old self would think I'm pretty cool. Like doing magic stuff on the internet. Like that, I grew up watching The Craft, Practical Magic, and Hackers. So this is like so that's there. It's really asking us like what our truest desires are, and I can feel so much resistance around it from the collective, because these are scary things that it's wanting us to look at. That's why it's been laying down this groundwork of the protection and the gratefulness and the grounding, and just like really trying to root you in, so that when we're growing in places that seem scary, we have something to we know that we're coming from solid ground. So, so what are our scariest dreams and our deepest desires? And it's funny because I've been tapping into this energy, and I just realized I didn't change my calendar for a couple months. And I totally got distracted. Freaking ADD. So I have not actually asked myself while exploring these themes. I did not actually ask myself like, what is your dream? What are your dreams? Like, what do you want? And if I'm honest with myself, besides like, okay, I'm doing pretty good if like my 13-year-old self would think I'm cool. But I really want to grow my business, and I don't just want to grow it a little bit. I want to grow it a lot, and I want to say that I'm a self-made millionaire one day. And that sounds crazy to me. It sounds nuts. And I'm sure a lot of people would think, especially traditional people, maybe even some of like my family members, certain uncles of mine, that would be like, are you sure? Are you sure that's like, are you sure that, is that a realistic dream? We're not talking about realistic dreams. We're talking about shooting for the moon. We're talking about shooting past the moon. We're talking about shooting for Jupiter. So let's let ourselves go there, be creative, and look at things through your younger self's eyes. And what would the world look like if we lived a little bit more that way? And how would you be able to function in the world if you honored yourself a little bit more, and honored your own boundaries a little bit more? And how would that ripple out? Because, when I'm talking like self-made millionaire, this is not just something that's going to benefit me. It's going to benefit the world. It's going to benefit especially like the magical world, the tarot world, the coaching world, the social justice world. Like these are the things, these are the real shit we're working towards. Is how do you want to impact the world, and what do you need to do that? And it really does, and it really starts with yourself. And it's funny because when I was trying to kind of find my path of purpose, and I was on these journeys of like, maybe this, and I wasn't feeling fulfillment, and I kept stumbling upon gurus and inspirational speakers that were constantly saying something like, well, it's because you're not in service. You will only find true fulfillment and happiness when you're in service. And I felt like I had been in service. I felt like I was like, well, yeah, I've been servicing a lot of people. Not like that. But like I've always worked in service, in the service industry. I am a freaking like 6 life path. I had when I took the Myers-Briggs in high school, it was like, you're the caretaker. I was like, no, like I've been taking care of everybody and everything. Like what? That's it's the opposite of what I needed. Like, service how? What are we talking about? And truly, it did not make sense until very recently, because I was not being in service in a way that was aligned with my soul and my dreams and my purpose, and the things that I feel I'm meant to do in this life. But so that's kind of like, felt like the thing that they kind of skip over is that, yeah, great. Like, yes, being in service is part of the goal, but if you can't even, like, truly be in service for yourself first, then how are you going to be in service for anybody else? Or, you know, it's just like that old thing that I used to hate that my people would say, and it's totally true, is, how are you gonna love someone else if you can't love yourself, you know? So that brings me to, I guess the beginning again, because I didn't totally introduce myself. I just kind of started talking about what was going on. If you were still on here with me, thank you. Welcome. I am Meryl. This is Meryl's Mystic, and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves in order to have healthier soulmate relationships and more purposeful lives. Because I believe that you cannot find the right soulmate until you are your own soulmate. Because you are the one that you've been looking for. So I'm here to help you do that. So I'm going to pull a couple cards for the moon to just kind of help us maybe laser focus in a little bit more. I'm worried it's going to be a little bit like, but I've because it feels like a lot, but the most important thing is that you're feeling into these things for yourself and how it resonates with you and for yourself. So, yeah, listen to your intuition. You are the main character of your story. So, I'm just here to kind of offer some guidance and a peek into the world we're connected to, and to help you figure out how to be more connected to your world. Okay, so get some water, and we'll drop in again, as by being present, we went somewhere, and it was fun. Thank you for listening. If you have not seen your taroscopes for Cancer season, those are now on YouTube. There's definitely a link in a bio on Instagram. There's a link in the description on Facebook. They're now individual for each sign, and I always recommend that you cross-watch for your moon sign and your rising sign also, and you can find those calculators on cafeastrology.com. Okay, deep breaths. Okay. I like when they just pop out like that. It's fun. It's like a surprise. 9 of Wands. So, 9 of Wands is you're almost there. Oh, you're almost there. You take a licking and you keep on ticking. But this is really great because the Wands are about like your path of purpose and your passion and how you're connected to your soul and a higher power, or or are you your higher power? You can be your higher power, because you are the universe too, baby. So the 9 of Wands, it's like we're going down the path, and we chose that path. We want to be on that path. We really love that path. And we know it's taking us someplace. But like any path, there are challenges. There are tests. There are lessons. There are rewards. But this is one of those paths where there's a lot of work that has to be done for it. It is kind of like, I mean, it's your path of purpose. It's not, even though the 9s and 10s are kind of like near the end of the path, it starts again. There's no true ending to this path. You're always on it. Oh man, I'm getting that. I think it's Talking Heads' "Road to Nowhere" in my song in my head. My brother must be around because I've been wanting. I listened to Talking Heads the other day. He loved Talking Heads. Yeah, "Road to Nowhere." That's. I'm not gonna sing that one because I don't know it that well, but I can kind of hear it in the background. We're on a road to nowhere. And it's like we're on the road to nowhere and somewhere at the same time. Like the journey is it's not about the destination, it's the journey. But when we're at the Nine of Wands moment, there's definitely like a moment of maybe feeling defeated or like, is this really going to be worth it? Was all my, there are things that we have to work towards that we want, that stretch us and that go outside of our comfort zones. And that's where that work comes in. That's where the work comes in. I have too many things to look at behind the computer because then my brain's just like, oh, let's read that. It's kind of like one of those things, like anything worth having doesn't come easy. Is that how that saying goes? Anything worth having doesn't come easy. Things that stretch us out of our zone, out of our comfort zones, is work. And it's not easy. It's not really supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be super difficult or trying. Like, please do not put yourself in a toxic or abusive situation to make this goal come true. But there are, when working towards a specific goal and on a specific path, there are certain sacrifices that have to be made. And you can feel freaking beat up and you can feel downtrodden. I don't say that, downtrodden, really. And it's okay, because they really want to remind, if this is how you're feeling about something right now, or maybe we're all kind of feeling this way because we're just like, oh man, there's just so much shit just keeps happening. Is it really all worth it? Is this really worth it? Or what are we doing here? But this card comes along to remind you that you're still standing. You're still standing. I mean, look at him. He's really, you could see he's got bandages on his head. He's kind of leaning on this on the wand there, but he's building something. See how they're behind him. He's building something. He's building, and because they're wands, they represent fire and passion and that thing that sparks us in us. So it is kind of keep going. It's funny because I was feeling this. I was actually kind of describing this feeling a couple weeks ago about where I am, in my business and where it's going and it's feeling kind of like it's growing slowly, but it's growing momentum. There's momentum, but it's the little engine that could up the frickin' mountain. I think I can. It's that moment, right before you're about to get there, that you want to give up so bad because you're just fuck it. Fuck it, we're not doing this. You know? But you're so close. It's like just a little bit further. Just a little bit further and you can do it. Ah, ha, ha. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Stop giving your energy away to people and things that don't deserve it. Stop it. Reach out your little hands and I'll slap them. Just kidding, I wouldn't hit you. That's abusive. We're not doing that. It's like you're almost there and you want to give up. You're almost there, you want to give up. Like, so how are you going to muster up the energy? How are you going to muster up the energy to get there? You're going to say no. You're going to say no. This card always comes up when it's like you have to reevaluate or like look at or like catch yourself. These are those personal boundaries that I'm talking about, is when you're saying yes to people who are energy suckers. Or you're agreeing to do things for people you love when you really don't have the energy to do the things for the people that you love. And there needs to be more communication here. Like, the people that truly love you and are in your corner don't want you to lie to them because you feel obligated to help them with something. You know what I mean? Like, they'd much rather you be like, well, I want to help you with this, but this is why I can't right now. And these are kind of like those sacrifices I was talking about. There are things that we want in life, and so often we get this choice, because there's little scales on the 6 of Pentacles of, there's a lot of times there's two roads. Do I go to this person's wedding, for example? Sorry, y'all, I know this might be real. Like, do I go to this person's wedding, or like this costs this money and this time and this and that and the other thing. I care for this person, I love them. However, during that same time, there's this really important thing that I want to participate in that is going to further my life. I know people who have had to make this decision. I've had to make this decision. And it wasn't even personal about whose wedding it was. It wouldn't have mattered. Because, unfortunately and fortunately, I had to make a choice for myself. You have to make a choice for yourself. And sometimes that means having to turn other people down and not being a people pleaser. That's what that's about too, is not being a people pleaser. Because by giving too much of that away, you're giving yourself away too much. Some for you, some for you, some for you, some for you. And then all of a sudden you look in your little coin purse, you're like, hey, wait. It's like, there's nothing in here for me. So where is that going to leave you? And then where are those people that you just gave it out to? Are they going to be there to like fill up your tank when you're at home and you got to take care of yourself? Like, are they going to come, clean your house? Are they going to come, build your website? I mean, maybe. That could, you can work that out with people. We need to respect our own time and energy so that then we can respect each other's time and energy more. Do you see how that works? Let's see what else is next. Ooh, okay. Page of Wands in reverse. So, this is very interesting. Because it's feeling like So we're trying to get to this place. And it's interesting because, like, the Page of Wands would be that like, natural progression of where we're going. It would be the Nine of Wands, and then the Ten of Wands, and the Page of Wands. But since he's in reverse, after our Nine of Wands, it's like a stop sign. Stop in the name of self-love. We're here for the cheese, people. It's like, man, it's just like, stop. Okay, and it's, how do I say, how do I grasp? Because you're going, and you need to keep going, but it's like you have to do this thing, you have to do some, like, self-preservation in order to get where you're going. It's like, it's kind of like, this is the road we're on. We need to do we're here. We need to do this before we can even get to where we're heading. It's like, don't think of your destination right now. I just wanted to, like, throw it to the side. Get the destination out of here. Don't even think about it. Because the main theme is being present. Being present. And how are we doing that? And how are we showing up for ourselves? Because Cancer season, I said at the beginning, it was your permission to be selfish. To put yourself first. What do you want? What do you want? How are you going to get it? What do you really want? Like, on a grand, like, you have to be present in order to step back and see the big picture. So it's like, where are you now? Contract. If you've been following me for a while, we keep talking about this, and I learned this from my friend Christy Garvey, who's awesome. You contract into your present, so then you can expand out into your future. It's like seeing the forest for the trees, or seeing the trees for the forest, or however that saying goes. So what are you doing now? How is that rippling out, affecting, like, your life now, affecting those around you, affecting your future? We're rippling out. Okay, well, they're telling me to stop, so we'll get into individual readings. I just glanced at the bottom of the deck. It's the Queen of Cups, which is a water sign, and we're in our water. So again, nurturing ourselves, filling our cup. So it's just, that's why I stopped, because it's just more of the same. I think that's hard to know where my talking heads. It's still, I'm telling you. Oh, yes. I love it. Thanks, Brosif. Okay, let's do one of these, because these have been so good lately. These are postcards from Spirit. I was going to say to Spirit. Postcards to Spirit. We're writing them. We write them with our hearts. These are the postcards from Spirit. And they're Colette Baron Reed's cards. She's awesome. Dear you. Dear you. The simple yet powerful law of cause and effect means everything is in relationship. Ooh. Every action on earth has a consequence, and even in the spirit world, there's a consequence for every action taken on your behalf. Right now, you're facing conditions that were set in motion by past decisions. Bro, I think it's hilarious every time how, like, freaking right on these are every time. Consequences are coming into being in your favor. They will remind you that making good choices and listening to your intuition pay off. If some things are a little off and uncertain, know that whatever you are facing, you can step beyond it just by using your imagination and acting on that instead of reacting to what is being presented. Everything you think and do has far-reaching reverberations in the web of life. Remember the ripple out? Remember we were doing that? Move to the higher ground and have faith that what goes around comes around. Karma. The universe is always self-correcting anyway. Isn't that amazing? So that's it. That's the nice lesson, is like the future's always in motion. So we have to be present too. If you realize when you're being present that you don't like where you are, like how you got to know where you are in order to know how to change it too, how to move on from that, move forward. Sweet. So the new moon happens Friday night. That's the 9th at, it's like 7:30. I have it written down. And then I think Cassie, are you still on here? Please let your presence be known. Oh yeah, so 7:16 Friday night. Yeah, I will see you guys soon. The Taurus Leo season starts on the 22nd, I believe, the 21st or the 22nd. And Leo tarot scopes will be out before then. You can get your Cancer tarot scopes now on my YouTube channel, Meryl's Mystic. And those always apply to your sun, moon, and rising. Oh, the cat came. I've done several readings where in virtually, and I can't tell you how many times people are like, "Oh, well, all the animals are in here with me now." Yes, they like the energy. They know when the energy's good. So yeah, go check out your Cancer season tarot scope, and I will see you for Leo season, and then we will get together for the Aquarius full moon on the 24th. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Once again, I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate your support. Please like, share, subscribe, do all the things on all the platforms. Find me. I'm out there. And I will see you soon. Cool. Bye.